12 spies went in, 10 came back overwhelmed, 2 came back ready to go. Because they knew that the giants in the land were just part of the process, but God's presence and His power were huge compared to it. And now I'm going to let you hear from some of our spies who've checked out the good land that God has brought us to.
My name is Josiah Sugiura, and I serve on our youth ministry team focusing on our middle schoolers and high schoolers. And I just wanted to share how Grace Bible Church has been a part of my life since I was born and a part of my family's legacy. So going back all the way to my grandfather who helped build the church in Alewa Heights, my mom being raised up in that church and sent out as a missionary to a location in Japan where she would eventually meet my dad, and then back to Hawaii at our Dole Cannery location where she raised my brothers and I and led the youth, the children's ministry there, now to me with my involvement with the middle school and high schoolers ministry. So my family and I have been able to see the church through multiple generations, and while people have come and gone, locations have moved, seasons have changed, this church has remained a place for fellowship, worship, and ministry for the community. And being able to see the Willows property firsthand and the opportunity to have a physical home for this church has been a great encouragement, especially in this uncertain time. And being part of the youth ministry, I see that the possibilities are endless in ways that we can continue to reach out to the youth in that area and develop the next generation that's in our church. So I'm excited to see what God has in store for us, and looking forward to one day raising my family in this church, just like my grandparents and parents did with me.
Raising a family in today's world sure is difficult. There's so many pitfalls and giants that just stand against us, so many problems and difficulties as we raise our children to live a life that's honoring to God. It's so tempting to either ignore those giants, ignore the problems, hope they just go away on their own, or to just be fixated on those problems and just let them overwhelm us. But it's kind of a daily struggle, I guess, where we just had to learn to bring God in, to allow Him to work in those things, and to give us the ability to face those giants, to stand up to them, and to overcome those problems.
We feel so thankful to have a church family that's willing to go into battle with us, to stand beside us. When we get an unfavorable health diagnosis for one of our children, or when they make choices that are unwise and we don't understand, or when we're faced with impossible choices in raising them where neither one seems like the good one to make, we have a church family that's going to lift us up in prayer, that's going to stand beside us and hold us accountable to raise our children in a way that honors God. And they're going to stand with us and praise with us in the good times and the bad times. And so that's really where our heart is. We can't imagine going through this alone with the challenges that we face as parents. And so our heart's desire is to see everyone in our community come to know the peace and the joy that comes with knowing Christ, having Him in the center of their families, to build stronger families, stronger communities, and collectively to let our light shine so brightly for Jesus, for the world to see, where we can make a lasting and life-changing impact.
I was first introduced to Grace Bible Church when I was 4 years old. Each Sunday I would be picked up to go to Sunday school, and I was a very shy little girl, but I loved to go. I was just so excited to go. And eventually my parents started going, my whole family started going, and we have been part of the family of Grace Bible Churches ever since.
In 1977, when I came to Grace Bible Church at an invitation, as soon as I stepped into that sanctuary and heard the worship, I felt in my spirit, I'm home. And I got involved with the college ministry. I was a student at UH, and we had a powerful ministry led by Pastor Norma Nakanishi now at Pearlside. And through the relationships and through the vision and discipleship, I learned how to minister. I learned how to do worship, learned how to go to missions. All of that was because we had a property, and it seemed like every day I lived up there. Every time we got a property, the church grew. It grew from maybe a handful of people to about 1,200 strong. Through His faithfulness, we can enlarge We can stretch, we can lengthen, we can strengthen as we pray and believe God. Let's go. Let's get this place. We've seen it in the past. We want to see that for you and your families.